All right, let's get this show on the road. Hey everyone, and welcome back. Last time, if you remember, our little team decided to enter the Sunnyvale Amazing Field Day with visions of a giant ice cream-filled trophy dancing in their heads. Bartholomew the banana, our very own sentient fruit coach, had just declared it was time to train. Things were about to get seriously athletic. So there we were, bright and early the next day, getting ready for our first big training session in the backyard. Kevin was doing some very intense-looking stretches. Benedict the chicken was pecking at the grass with a look of fierce concentration, and Bartholomew was calmly explaining the physics of the perfect three-legged race technique. I was just about to tie my leg to Kevin's when he suddenly froze, pointing a trembling finger towards my prized vegetable patch. He let out a gasp, his eyes wide. "Look, a monster has been here," he whispered, his voice full of dramatic dread. I followed his gaze, and sure enough, there was a trail of chaos. My perfectly planted rows of carrots were in disarray, and there, in the soft soil, were some of the strangest footprints I had ever seen. They were huge, deep, and looked like they belonged to some kind of enormous, multi-toed creature. Benedict the chicken flapped up onto my head, letting out an alarmed series of clucks, ruffling my hair in the process. Bartholomew strode over to the scene, adjusting a non-existent pair of glasses on his smooth yellow face. Most peculiar," he murmured, his deep voice rumbling with intrigue. The dimensions of these impressions suggest a creature of significant size, an unknown origin. We have a mystery on our hands. Kevin's face, which had been pale with fear, was now alight with a new kind of excitement. A mystery! Forget the field day. We have to find the monster of Sunnyvale Garden. And just like that, our athletic training was postponed. Operation Monster Hunt was a go. Kevin, now calling himself lead detective, fashioned a magnifying glass out of a bottle cap and a water droplet. Benedict, our aerial surveillance unit, flew from fence post to fence post, scanning the area. Bartholomew, the chief strategist, analyzed the trajectory of the footprints, while I, apparently the logistics manager, was tasked with providing snacks for the investigative team. The trail of giant paw prints led us out of my garden, across the lawn, and straight towards the fence that separates my yard from my new neighbor's, Mrs. Higgins. The prints stopped right at a small, freshly dug hole underneath the fence. Kevin peered through the hole, his bottle cap magnifying glass held aloft. "I see it," he whispered. "It's big, it's fluffy, and it's..." Chewing on a squeaky toy. Just then, we heard a cheerful voice from the other side. "Oh, Buster, there you are, you little rascal." Mrs. Higgins appeared, scooping up the monster. The creature in question was a tiny, impossibly fluffy Saint Bernard puppy, whose paws were comically oversized for his little body, making him look like he was wearing giant slippers. He let out a happy yip, his tail wagging so hard his whole body wiggled. It turned out Buster had a habit of digging under the fence to play in our yard, and his massive puppy paws were the source of the monstrous footprints. Kevin lowered his magnifying glass, his face a mixture of relief and a little bit of disappointment. "Oh," he said, "so no garden monster." Bartholomew placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Fear not, young Kevin. The quest for truth is its own reward." And now we have identified the culprit of the great carrot caper. The puppy, Buster, licked Kevin's face, and all was forgiven. With the mystery solved, our attention could finally turn back to the real challenge at hand. "All right, team," I said, clapping my hands together. "That giant trophy full of ice cream isn't going to win itself. Let's get back to training." And just like that, our focus was back on the prize.